Ooh, buddy, this one's really concerning. Stay over there. Oh, buddy, this is pretty scary right here. So there's this unfinished building on our farmstead that was constructed prior to us moving here on the property. And I've been thinking that this building would be a great little off-the-grid cabin that we could use for a number of things. And thinking back, if I was a teenager, that would have been something that I would have liked to have lived in. Fix it up, live in it. So maybe our teens may want to do that one day. I'm not sure. But anyways, it hasn't really been a priority. So I never really got around to working on it. But a number of months ago, we got a lot of heavy rain. And we got so much rain that the support columns for the building have begun to collapse. And the building is about to fall over. And with this happening, this project is definitely a priority now. Let's see here, I need a couple of blocks. There's some old scrap block left over, some masonry project. My wife's father has been in masonry construction basically his whole life. So there's a lot of excess block and brick on the property, and they come in handy for various things at various times, including at a time like this. And actually, I used to work with him for like a year or so. And let me tell you, working with block is definitely a workout for your arms and your forearms. You can build up a lot of good hand strength with doing masonry work. Now I could have moved this block with a skid steer or something like that, but moving the block in my gorilla cart also gave me a nice little leg workout too. And if you don't own a gorilla cart, I highly recommend getting one because they're extremely heavy duty and we use them all the time for all kind of things, including moving block. Let's see here. I didn't build it, but when it was originally built here, it was put on these posts here, and it doesn't look like they were put in concrete or anything like that. And right now, these posts are just looking really, really bad. So I really want to get this pond house finished, so it can be like this off-grid house for us to come hang out in. The kids come play in, like this ultimate off-grid playhouse. But we got to keep this thing from collapsing. So what I need to do is level out some areas here so I can put these blocks down that I just got and hopefully keep this thing from collapsing. But hopefully it won't collapse as I'm doing this. But just have to see. Well, if it does collapse and fall this way, at least the tree here will hold it. But if it collapses and falls towards the pond over here, well, it's going in the pond and nothing I can do about that. I'll be honest, with this building being like this, I was nervous. So I moved whatever trip hazards that were in the way, just in case I needed to make a quick escape. Danger zone right here. Danger zone. Make sure I got an escape route just in case. If it does, I'm going pew. Right here. Even this right here is starting to blow out. Ouch. Oh. Is there concrete? concrete under there? No, it's just wood. And even though I may have looked calm, my adrenaline was definitely rushing. Cortisol levels were definitely spiking. That spot looks good enough. Let's get some block. This one's a little bit thicker, so we're gonna need something else. So it's not quite thick enough to put another block there. Let's see if I can find some scrap wood to wedge into there. Some here, we can use one from here. Let's see here. Temporary home. Do something else later. Get this tree out of there. Phew. So after setting that first stack of block, I next moved over to the back side of the building that's on the pond side. Moved another tree out of the way so I could set another stack of block to help stabilize this stack. Move this out of the way. Have you ever done a risky task or a project that got your adrenaline going? If so, let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear about it. So I need something right here. Actually, this spot looks like I won't have to dig much. Get some of our other block. Put it there. Start with this. So as I worked on placing another stack of block to stabilize this building, of course it started to rain, but regardless of the rain, I had to get this job done, or else I could risk losing this whole building altogether. Dang, he's heavy. Since that's not going to work there, let's swap out the wedge from over here. See if it would work over there. All right, time for the other corner. Most of our kids were there with me as I did this, primarily to keep an eye out for me just in case this thing came crashing down. But as I was looking at this other corner here, I was like, guys, get back. Ooh, buddy, this one's really concerning. Stay over there. Oh, buddy, this is pretty scary right here. I'm gonna come on, I think right here, and put something there. Oh, this one makes me sweat. I'm gonna set the camera down back here because this one's pretty stressful. disturb the ground too much. Please keep me safe on this, God, please. There's that. I feel a lot better about that right there. It's just got something that if that leg gives out right there, we can just set on that.
Once he got the block under that other side, I was like, woo!
I'd like to get one more here. It'd make me feel just a little bit better if I had one right here too. But this spot really makes me nervous right here. Regretfully, this is not level. And of course this spot needed leveling out before I could place the block. So I stressfully dig out this spot. And I had to dig some more. Alright, I think that's enough there. It's wide enough. What were you thinking when I was doing the block under the pond house?
I thought you were gonna get squished like a bug on the side of the road. It's like, it'll be a bug in the water.
A bug in the water?
Or the pond house would just fall right into the water.
Good thing none of that happened, right?
Yeah.
At least that's what you're telling me here.
Yeah.
And with those two stacks of block in place, they'll provide temporary support for the building as that post begins to give out more and more. And I also added some block to the front side of the building, but these areas were nowhere near as bad and nowhere near as risky. Now, setting these blocks is totally temporary. It's a fast fix to keep this building from falling over or worse, falling into the pond. During my years as a homesteader, I've done a lot of tasks and projects that have pushed me out of my comfort zone. But I've also learned when it's time to get some help. And on this project, to move forward, I need help. It's beyond my expertise, and it would be safer and wiser for me to get help. And I must admit, I've had to learn to ask for help humbly. And is that something that's easy for you to do? For most people, it's not. It wasn't for me. I'm trying to get better with that. If you're one of those people that it's hard for you to ask for help, let me know in the comment section below. But if you're one that it's easy to ask for help, I'd like to hear from you too. Let me know in the comment section below. But to continue on with this project, I've asked my brother-in-law, Hazen, who has carried on and is carrying on the masonry construction business for my father-in-law. And Hazen has seen all kinds of things over the years working in constructions. He's been on thousands upon thousands of projects, so I am asking him for his help to finish stabilizing this building.
The roof looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, the roof's okay, but we got to get everything else stabilized before it gets any worse.
And he has come out to look at it and has been working on a plan for us to stabilize it. But just in that little bit of time, the building is already setting on the block that I had set in place. And if I hadn't set them there, the building would have fallen. And Hazen did confirm that. But stay tuned, because we're going to start working on this off-grid cabin. And what we have to do may be even riskier than what I had to do with those blocks.
So we need to put a beam through as close to the front as we can. So like right here.
Okay.
Once we put the beam across, then we can take all this out.
Okay.
I want to knock down a corner